Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala of UGC. I am Dr. Suhail Akhtar, Assistant Professor from Department of Pharmaceutics, Faculty of Pharmacy, Jamia Hamdard, New Delhi. Today we are going to discuss about the module Implantable and Oral Osmotic Pump under the paper Novel Drug Delivery System 1. So the students, let's see what we are going to learn in this module. We are going to learn in this module about classification of osmotic control drug delivery system, implantable osmotic control drug delivery system, and oral osmotic pumps. We had already discussed about this in our previous module, that osmotic, let's say the brief about osmotic. What is this? Osmotic control drug delivery system. What itself indicate that this drug delivery system has the basis or the principle of, or based on the principle of osmosis. So generally what is happening in such drug delivery system, this drug delivery system is comprises of a semi-permeable membrane that only allow the passage of water or biological media inside. In the core it is having drug or maybe a osmogen or osmotically active material. This osmogen, when it is getting dissolved within the water or biological fluid, it started the simple process of osmosis. What is the process of osmosis? Osmosis is a process in which solvent is moving from a low concentration zone to the high concentrated solute, from the high concentrated solute area to the low concentration zone. With this, due to this movement, there is a difference in the osmotic pressure, and this osmotic pressure create exertion and pushing the drug outside of the delivery system, that leading to the release. This is all about a brief or basic about the osmotic control drug delivery system. It has different kind. It can be designed for delivery to the oral route. It can be designed delivery as an implantation material, and it also having some specific or a sort of a special category that we will discuss later. So this is all the brief introduction. Let's go into the detail. This slide is about the classification of osmotic control drug delivery system. Osmotic control drug delivery system are categorized into, you can categorize in different way, but most commonly used classification pattern is implantable one, oral osmotic pump, and some other specific kind of. So let's first come to the implantable one. As it is already indicating, implantable means it is inserted in the body, okay, injectably. So maybe mostly it is implant, so it need a minor surgery for that. And oral osmotic pump, orally intake, the intake is orally, so basically it is more governed or regulated by any process within the GIT. A specific type we will discuss according to later slides, why they are different category and what kind of a specific type they are. So implantable one consists of some examples, and these are from the company what they are mentioning: Rose Nelson pump, Higuchi Leaper pump, and Higuchi Thui pump, and implantable mini osmotic pump. Okay. Oral osmotic control, it is one of the kind is simple chamber osmotic pump, elementary osmotic pump, multi-chamber osmotic pump, push-pull osmotic pump with a non-expanding second chamber. Okay. Now the specific one category: control porosity osmotic pump, osmotic bursting osmotic pump, liquid ortho, OROS-CT. OROS-CT means clone targeting. Okay. Sandwiches oral therapeutic system, monolithic osmotic system, and OSMOT. So let's first come to the implantable one. They are implanted in fluid containing body compartments. Okay, so it is basically implantation and a certain body part. Okay, as I already told you previously, this is basically more of the classification based on the further classification is based on the example from the particular, based on the development by a particular company. Ortho Nelson, Higuchi Leaper, and Higuchi Thui osmotic pump. These are the four major kind of implantable osmotic control drug delivery system available or used in the market. Let's first come to the Rose Nelson pump. In brief, this is the earliest most discovered device, contain an inbuilt water chamber that is obviously need to have a that will serve as an aqueous medium or aqueous solvent for dissolving osmogen and creating the osmotic pressure, and then a salt chamber which is basically the osmogen, and then a drug reservoir which is having the drug, whether it is in dissolved state or dispersed state. No matter if it is in dissolved state, that means there is already some solution form is there. If it is in the dispersed state, the water material or aqueous fluid which is going inside, it will also help in dissolving drug. And after a pressure exerted by the dissolution of osmogen leads to the expulsion or leads to coming out of the drug through the orifice that you learned previously about this particular drug delivery system. In the Rose-Nielsen pump, you already see previously that it contain water chamber, salt chamber, and drug reservoir. So segments or these three components are completely separated, so they are not mixed together, okay? And they are separated by two kind of layer. Between the salt and water chamber there is a rigid semi-permeable membrane. Between drug chamber and salt chamber there is an elastic diaphragm, so it is also a semi-permeable membrane. And then the device orifice, so drug is on the top of orifice, okay? So first of all fluid go in, then it dissolve the salt and drug chamber is okay, then it dissolve the salt, which now creating the osmotic pressure, and then it is pushing because of creating osmotic pressure. This pressure is exerting, and this elastic diaphragm, this membrane is expanding. Because of this expansion, it push the drug through the device orifice and leads to the release of drug. So development of osmotic pressure gradient across the semi-permeable membrane, water into the salt chamber, and from the salt chamber, that is from the low concentration to the higher concentration to the solid, which is the basic concept of osmosis. This increases the volume of salt chamber. By the increasing of volume, the shape of elastic membrane between the salt chamber and drug reservoir is changed. Basically, it is going toward the convex type. So convex type shape pushing the material that is in the drug reservoir toward the orifice. The same time, yeah, so it is the same thing. The diagram, the design and mechanics of this pump resemble the push-pull osmotic pump system that you will learn later. Limitation of this system is that water chamber that needs charging before it can be used. Obviously water chamber need to have water there itself from the beginning. So in this kind of system, the mechanism of drug release, how it happen, is explained here. So basically there are the three steps. First, development of osmotic pressure gradient across the semi-permeable membrane. Then after that, water enter into the salt chamber, dissolving the salt. After the dissolving salt, the osmotic pressure increase in that particular chamber. So finally it is the volume that change, and this change in volume exert the pressure on elastic diaphragm, okay, and this elastic diaphragm change in convex pushing up, and this is further pushing dissolved drug or dispersed drug from out of the orifice, and this is how it release. So this is the diagrammatic presentation of the same. So you can see the sequence. As I told you, first the water will go into the water chamber. From that water chamber, it will further flow the water, because the membrane is semi-permeable. As I told you, semi-permeable membrane only allow the solvent to pass, not the solute. Okay, so water will pass and go to the solute situation where which is in higher concentration. So from low concentration and no concentration of salt, it will go to the higher concentration of salt and start dissolving the salt. When salt start dissolving, it exert the pressure. You can see here that it is exerting pressure and making a convex shape. This convex shape is pushing or decreasing the volume or area what is assigned or made for drug solution. When the area decrease, obviously it will push out, and ultimately the drug is released into the biological fluid. So this is next one, Higuchi Lipper pump. So you can see that it is little different and little bit more complicated design compared to the previous example. It has a outer layer, housing membrane, then active agent formulation, which is a drug, then a semi-permeable membrane, then magnesium sulfate, which is the salt or osmogen layer. Below that, there is another semi-permeable membrane, and at the last, it is a porous membrane support. So, saturated solution of magnesium sulfate containing excess solid magnesium sulfate. It is what actually it is in the porous membrane support. So you already know, I had already told you about pore former. So this is here the pore former, magnesium sulfate. So this is actually working on the principle of imbibition of water from the surrounding. Yes. So when solid or implanted into the body, activation of pump takes place, resulting in penetration of surrounding biological fluid into the device through the porous semi-permeable membrane. This inflow of water or fluid dissolves the salt, and that salt, after dissolution, exerted osmotic pressure or raise in osmotic pressure, which push the movable separator toward the drug chamber to exclude the drug outside the device. Okay, so this type of pump is widely used for veterinary purpose because of the size. Okay, this is really bigger. Okay, and mostly they are used for antibiotic delivery or growth hormone delivery to the animal. Due to the absence of imbued water chamber, this device is less susceptible to microbial contamination. That is a good point with this kind of device, and that therefore its shelf life or expiry life is long enough. Higuchi two-ways pump. This is another kind of osmotic control drug delivery devices, osmotic control drug delivery system. It is more or less similar to Higuchi Leaper pump, and it also doesn't contain, it is also devoid of water chamber. So it is a further simplified variant or some simplified form of Rose-Nielsen pump developed by Higuchi and Two-Ways. So these are the two different companies and who developed this system. Unlike the Higuchi Leaper pump, Higuchi Two-Way pump contain a semi-permeable membrane attached to outer rigid housing of device. So there is a layer of solid osmogens disposed in a suitable solvent beneath the outer membrane layer, and the innermost layer of device consists of flexible and collapsible material. The drug reservoir is present inside the device, and it is directly connected with the delivery orifice. When this osmotic pump come in contact with the body fluid or biological fluid, water enter inside from the semi-permeable membrane, through thereby exerting the pressure on the innermost layer onto the flexible wall to push the drug from the pump. So what I had explained you earlier about this Higuchi theoretic pump model, this is the diagrammatic presentation of this model. Like every common basic components are same like other osmotic control drug delivery devices. However, it look more like a cylindrical structure, as you can see here, and in the cylinder it is a layer by layer arrangement. The first layer, obviously the one is orifice for the delivery of the drug. First layer is semi-permeable membrane, which allow the water biological fluid to go in, and the second layer is the layer of drug reservoir, and it is also mixed with osmogen. Okay, last layer is inside, that is the core. It is also a kind of osmogen layer. So once the permeable membrane allow the water to go in, it further dissolve the solid osmogen. Solid osmogen create pressure onto the flexible wall, and that pressure exertion is a sort of pushing the drug from the orifice. Among the category of implantable, the last one, the another example is mini osmotic pump. So it is more or less similar to the previous design what is used or what is explained in Higuchi Two-Way pump, except it has an additional component. And what is that? Flow modulator, yeah, which is inserted inside when the device is already filled with the drug solution or suspension. So you can see that it is a needle shape going to the core and coming out from the orifice, and it is called flow modulator. The rest of the structure is similar. So finally here is a summary of implantable osmotic pump. Component summary you can see, and their capacity and other structural parameters. So in the case of Rose-Nielsen pump, volume, approximately the volume is 80 centimeter cube. Most common components are rigid housing, water chamber, salt chamber, drug chamber, elastic diaphragm, and membrane. Higuchi Lipa one volume is now, it is less here, 35. So obviously size will be less. Yeah, that is good advantage. So among all these, it clearly indicates that Roth-Nielsen is biggest one. The component are, Higuchi one is rigid housing, the same one what we have earlier, salt chamber, drug chamber, elastic diaphragm, and membrane. Next one is Higuchi Thuy pump model. Even again here the volume is reduced and it is 3 centimeter cube, comprises of or consists of salt chamber, drug chamber, elastic diaphragm, and membrane. The last and most advanced one is implantable mini osmotic pump. Word itself indicate that it is small, and it is more clear from the volume. It can be less than 3 centimeter cube. It is really small and easy to implant by the help of a minor surgery. It basically contains of drug chamber, membrane, and as you have seen in the previous slide, it also contains most important component called flow modulator. So this is all about the component summary. So now come to the oral osmotic pump. So earlier all was the pump which is used somehow in the form of injection or implant. These are going to be used orally. So they are of different kind. First and foremost is single chamber osmotic pump, and it is also called elementary osmotic pump. Very simple design. It has, look, the similarity with implantable and this one. Major component will remain same. Keep in mind, first of all, orifice will remain same to first drugless to come out from there. Osmogen must be used because this is the basic principle what we are using based on the osmotic pressure. However, here the design is so simple that you can see it only contain orifice, a water core, and water core contain drug and osmogen both together, and outside is a semi-permeable membrane. So semi-permeable membrane allow water to come in. This water or biological fluid dissolve the solute, which is your osmogen. Drug might be dissolved, cannot be, no problem. And then after dissolution of solute, it raises or it increases or changes the osmotic pressure. That osmotic pressure help in pushing the drug in dissolved state or in dispersed state, or that is called in the form of suspension coming out of the orifice. So this is the first design, the first concept published in the form of elementary osmotic pump in 1975. So old, yeah. Consists of active ingredient, other things I had already told you. Basically it is most designed in the form of tablet. So mechanism of drug release, as you can see, osmogen or osmotically active component come in contact with biological fluid. Basically it is oral, so it will intake from oral route, so it will be the GIT fluid basically, yeah. And then when GIT fluid dissolve the EOP, osmotically driven water enter into the device. Yes, that is again the same concept of osmosis. Solvent is following or solvent is traveling from low concentration of solute to high concentration, okay, resulting, so finally it is resulting in the formation of saturated solution of drug. This saturated solutions come out in controlled manner throughout the small orifice presenting in the semi-permeable membrane. In this system there is a lag time of 30 to 60 minutes before the drug is coming out, owing to the hydration of system because it takes time. After it, delivery with almost zero. That is the good point, because in the controlled drug delivery system, ideal device or ideal drug delivery system is one that release the drug with a zero rate. And what is this zero rate drug release? Zero rate drug release is drug release is constant according to the time, or drug release constantly depend on the time, no directly proportional relation. So, and this system can achieve zero order release kinetic up to around 70% of total drug content. Control of rate of drug release depend on water permeability property and semi-permeable membrane structure, and obviously the osmotic pressure. So EOP system are appropriate for the delivery of drug having moderate to higher aqueous solubility, but it has some disadvantage. Disadvantage is it can only be used for water aqueous soluble drug only. In multi-core chamber osmotic pump, drug release from the multi-compartment, usually they follow zero order release kinetic throughout the operation. Multi-chamber itself indicate that there are layer by layer. So drug, osmogen are in different layer. it could also be possible that we have multiple layer of drug, okay, and simultaneously we have two or more than one layer of osmotic zone. Next one is push-pull osmotic pump. Push-pull osmotic pump is a modified form of EOP and has been used for delivery of both hydrophilic and hydrophobic drug. Structurally, it consists of a bilayer core, namely drug layer and push layer, enclosed within a semi-permeable membrane having a laser drilled orifice on the top. But here the core of compressed tablet is further divided into two components. One compartment depicted as the upper layer in the figure 7 consists of osmotic core drug, which is around 60 to 80% portion, and the other compartment possesses the polymeric osmogen, which is around 20 to 40%. So the core component of this pump is compressed to form a tablet, so it is in the form of tablet, then coated by semi-permeable membrane. Mechanical or laser drill is used to create a hole in the semi-permeable membrane that serve as an orifice. As compared to the earlier single core EOP design, the polymeric drug layer of the bilayer core allows the drug to be solubilized or dispersed, while polymeric push layer swell and generate enough pressure to allow the drug release under zero order release kinetic. Studies already showed or revealed that irrespective of the solubility of drug, 4 key parameters are determined, like plasticizer in the membrane, surface area of the system, content of the osmotic agents, and the drug layer polymer gradient were governed the drug release in such systems. So the word pull and push is used in combination here to assign the name of this particular drug delivery system. The pull word signifies the imbibition of gastric intestinal fluid by the osmotic core, drug and polymer osmogens, whereas the word push is used for the pressure exerted by the solvent polymer to expel the fine dispersion of drug out of the device. First one was the primitive one, oral control or orally delivered osmotic control drug delivery system. Example name is push-pull osmotic pump. It itself indicates two words, push and pull. Okay, so there is something, a pushing system, and then next step is pulling. Okay, so let's see the structure. So before the operation, how it look like, before going into the system, before taking orally, how it look like. It comprises of semi-permeable membrane, a osmotic drug core, and then polymeric push compartment. A compartment which only having the separated with the help of polymer. So once you have water inside or biological fluid or GIT fluid inside, it dissolve the drug. Okay, listen. So first it will dissolve the osmotic active agents, and because of this, osmotic active agent will push again the polymer push compartment, okay, by making a convex layer. This later will exert, okay, to release the pressure toward up, and ultimately it help in releasing the drug from the orifice. And now next one is osmotic pump with non-expanding second chamber. So this one was expanding one, non-expanding. So itself what indicate that it does not contain an expandable second chamber. Based on the role of the second chamber device with non-expandable second chamber are further categorized into two subcategories. The first subcategory is second chamber acts as a diluting chamber for the drug solution itself, and so in this case the function is particularly helping in saturation. One saturated solution of drug may cause gastroirritation solution. Okay, so for example, this is a marketed product, Osmosin. Okay, this is a brand name, sodium indomethacin drug, which was already now withdrawn from the market because of the gastroirritation, but it was based on this concept. So there is some variant developed for this system, and the first variant is a non-expandable second chamber. How it works, it is the diagrammatic presentation of such a design. So it is osmotic pump with a drug dilution chamber. So it means it contains such orifice is there, layer of impermeable membrane, second layer was there, and then the dilution chamber containing drug, and osmogen is there, and the wall of semi-permeable membrane. And then it is further divided within the layer of limitation wall, a second component containing the drug. So this is basically the design what is not existing in the first one. As you can see in the previous slide, the structure it consists of two components. The first component contains a drug, and the second component contains water soluble diluent like glucose, mannitol, sodium chloride. Listen, it is water soluble diluent, but it is the osmogen what we call. Both the component is comprises to form a bilayer tablet, and this tablet is further coated by semi-permeable membrane. The device orifice is created either by layer or by manual drilling. Okay, this slide indicates you the mechanism of what we have discussed above. So mechanism of drug release in this system is, first of all, water enter to the osmotic pump through the semi-permeable membrane, in short it is written here as PM, in response to the concentration gradient created across the device. What is concentration gradient? This is the basic principle behind osmosis. I am telling it again and again. A solution, not the solution, let's say solvent, only the movement of solvent from the low concentration of solute toward the higher concentration until and unless the concentration in both the compartment reach equal or reach state of equilibrium. This movement of water molecule inside the pump leads to the formation of concentrated solution of drug. So again, concentration is very high. So here the drug will move from high to the low. Okay. So this concentrated solution turns toward the second chamber, which is less diluted, and then from there it come out from the orifice. So this is the basic or simple mechanism how drug is going out from the orifice in such kind of devices. The other variant of osmotic pump with non-expanding second chamber. Here both the chamber of osmotic pump are separated by a rigid impermeable wall and exploited for the controlled delivery of two different drugs simultaneously. So this kind of design is used for simultaneous delivery of more than one drug, or to deliver for a bicombinational drug delivery. The other variant of this above mentioned pump is made up of two rigid chambers. The first and second chamber contain osmogen and drug respectively. Both the chambers are connected by a central hole, or you can say orifice. The whole device is surrounded uniformly from outside, or outer layer is actually a semi-permeable membrane, except the front part of the second chamber, which is remain in the form of microporous membrane. So some other variant, osmotic pump with non-expanding second chamber. It is diagrammatically presented here. You can see it consists of orifice like always, then semi-permeable membrane, then osmotically active agent in the core containing chamber, and orifice is in the middle of the core. It separating this orifice, and a semi-permeable membrane is helping in separating the osmotic agent containing chamber from drug containing chamber. Okay, and then at the end it has microporous membrane as well. So here let's summarize whole what we learned in this module. Osmotic control drug delivery system are classified into three types: implantable, oral, and a specialized pump. Implantable are the systems that obviously implanted in the fluid containing body compartments and are divided into four subcategories: Rose-Nielsen pump, Higuchi-Leaper pump, Higuchi-Thewi pump, and implantable mini osmotic pump. The next one is oral osmotic pump, which are divided into single chamber osmotic pump, elementary osmotic pump, multi-chamber osmotic pump, push-pull osmotic pump with non-expanding second chamber. So now the last one what we learned in this particular topic is there are various approaches that has been used for the development of parenteral control formulation such as implantable osmotic control drug delivery system that we had already seen in the form of list. Thank you so much.